Hallo, so ich werde auf Englisch sprechen. Mein Deutsch ist nicht so gut. Heute ist es einfacher für mich, auf Englisch zu sprechen. So for today, start. So for today, what I wanted to show you what is exactly what we do with the blockchain and why we do so. As it was mentioned, we is BREITLING. You probably all know that, but we sell luxury watches for almost 2 centuries. We have, if you want to describe the brand, those could be some of the keywords, but also you've probably been exposed to our ambassadors and as well to our boutiques. So all that seems very old luxury, and today what we would like to focus is more what we've been doing for the past 2 years within the blockchain for our clients. So if we zoom back, in 2020 we did the first limited edition watch that had an NFT attached to that watch. So every single buyer could redeem that NFT. And since we've completely industrialized the NFT, in the sense that every single watch that we currently produce comes with an NFT that augments the experience for that client, sorry. And we have 500,000 NFTs that are released today. So when I say enhancing the experience, it provides you proof of ownership, access to product, customized services, and one thing that we'll detail a bit later, the combo transparency, traceability, and tradability that we will show, especially in the context of the BREITLING Club that we're about to launch. So really, the way we approached blockchain was, you probably know the framework, was a distinction between exploring and exploiting. So exploring was really at the beginning where we were trying to be a bit more precise on the use case, and now we're more on the exploitation, where we're currently in the industrialization of that use case. If we look back in time, we started thinking about it in 2019. One key element for you to understand is that we had watches. We had also a lot of physical material with those watches, but we had no way to really reach or build a relationship with the customer once he or she had bought the watch. So that was really the thinking about, like, how can we have a way to engage with the customer past the purchase, which is one of the most important periods of engagement. 2020, as I said, we did the first pilot on the watch on a limited edition, and 2022, every single watch comes with an NFT that the customer are redeeming in their wallet. We have also deployed 2 programs that we will detail, one called BREITLING Select and the other one called BREITLING Trade. Those 2 programs are only accessible for people that have redeemed their NFT. So we'll show also the way to the one-step authentication and access via the NFT. Why was also one of the questions, and really this why comes from 3 reasons or 3 main changes. One that I will detail is the change of the brand. Second is the change of the customer. And the third is the change of the business model. And kind of combined, this led us naturally to engage into the blockchain and release those NFT. So the change of BREITLING, basically 2017, a new owner came in, and it was necessary to change the image. You will understand why. It was very 90s in its approach, very niche, very strong for sure, but very much aviation macho. And so this was the starting point, and we had to revamp a bit the image towards something a bit more, let's say, modern, inclusive, and so on. So that shows you kind of the gap. If we look also within the store, there was, again, like a very strong theme about aviations, very macho. The Betty on the bomb that you cannot see here had the legs spread on a bomb. So that was also not very Me Too. And obviously, you see the jump from something way more welcoming, way more neutral as well, less aviation oriented, but also in line with the DNA of the brand, who was doing watches for pilots, but also watches for divers and watches for normal people, I would say. So really, this shows you the transformation, and it's obviously this transformation where it lived. I would say the fastest was on the website. So there was a complete revamp on the website the first 6 months, and kind of to show the customers what was coming on, a multiplication of the engagement from a digital standpoint, and that's where the NFT came in. Change of our customers was also a big thing. So, I mean, change of our customers, change that you have noticed, change that you have been involved in as well. First was obviously the fact that to be expecting actually a digital component in the experience. So this is probably 4 years ago in New York, a shop that also had a screen outside that allowed the customer to buy or to prepare to buy directly. And this is, you know, at the time it seemed like an experience. Now it's the reality. People prepare to shop on their digital devices, if not completely shop via e-commerce that we also developed. So, as I said, you know, introduction, omnipresence of digital in the customer's experience was one thing. The second was obviously the empowerment. So this was taken again, like probably 5-6 years ago in Korea. But with COVID, everyone discovered the QR code and had to really use it at all times. So what you see is that it became part of today's reality, today's expectations, the customer way of living. And something that also changed a lot is the way to buy a product. And we usually choose the example of a car. And it was interesting because when I walked towards here, I actually saw the Audi showroom here, where basically like it's a showroom with at most 2 cars, but they're selling the entire range. And you see clients, you know, buying a car that they have not really tried, that they have absolutely no way of driving. And this shows that basically the way to choose a physical product has evolved. If you take the car industry, the average in the past was 2 visits before a purchase. Now the average is less than 1 visit before a purchase, which shows that you have the majority of the customers that don't see the car that they're buying, actually, don't try it. Which could also go for watches. The last is obviously like the ability of scaling that digital platforms have provided, and the leveraging of data, the opportunities that this has created to personalize the message per customer. Change of business models was also a big thing. So I guess the next picture is going to make you smile, but just think about how you used to travel. Yes, that works. So this was kind of like an experience that you would prepare in this place, brick and mortar. You would come and someone would advise you, probably put out a few catalogs, prepare the travel with you. If you compare to today, basically you're with your phone and you have a lot of resources to really guide your travel wherever you're going. So in this case, it was China, in Shanghai, and you can see that, you know, everything that in the past was a bit spread out, you needed advice, guidance, and so on, you can do in a few clicks and completely plan your travel and have it completely integrated into your phone from the flight to the parking of your car. So one thing also that was a big change for us, for watches, is the rhythm of scheduling releases and how to engage with the customers. And the reason why we chose this picture is that, okay, there is a watch, it's yellow, so it's very Breitling as well. But this entire image was actually made in the context of Double 11 in China for a platform called Tmall. This was actually 2 years ago the winner of a competition that they had done. So we had free advertising for that entire shopping festival. And why is because they asked each brand to play a game where they ask the product to be in a situation where you have also a callback to the logo of Timo, so the kind of like cat head, and that's what you see here that had been around the watch. So we were both highlighting the features of the watch, which is a waterproof watch for divers, but also the fact that we were engaging with those customers on the premise of that shopping festival on that platform. So that's one thing that shows the adaptation that the industry had to go through. And last but not least, just kind of like the logic behind what I was describing is, if you think about it, we went from, at least in the watch industry, from a very B2B business that's open retail, and that currently is more around this step between customer and platform. And really, that's like the triggering point for thinking towards Web3 and NFT, because we had to recognize that what was paramount was the engagement we had with our customers, the direct engagement we had with our customers. So one key platform, as you can imagine, for us in the engagement was, as I showed, the website, right? It's like, at least in the Western world, the main engagement platform with the customer. And towards that, we really had to reverse how we were thinking about the website. And that's why, that's at least for us, how we see Web3, was to say the website is not about the brand anymore. And just one anecdote, when I joined the company, on the website, there was no product page. It was all about the brand. You could not find the product. It was really like buy the brand and go to the shop to see the product. So then the second part, or let's say Web 2, was more, okay, you understand the brand, we show you the product. Product is really the key feature of the website. And today the reality is that the customer needs to be the key feature of the website. That doesn't mean that the others are not present, but more it shows that personalization, for instance, is at the core of what we need to do. And the way we're showing product needs to be relevant for each of the customer. Part of that is also to say that the customer, when engaging with the brand, needs to have his own platform as the website or something else. And that's also why we want to leverage the NFT as the entry key of the engagement that we have with the customer. And we'll show you in a few slides. So this maps the way we engage with our customers based on the visibility and knowledge we have with them. But where the NFT changed the game is really, if you think about it, only the top was really the place where we had optimal knowledge and optimal engagement with our customer, because we knew that they had registered with us, we knew which watches they had, which watches they were looking for, and we were able to really be efficient in the way we were communicating to them. All the rest was kind of trying to bring people up. But with the NFT, we changed the paradigm and we said, okay, on the premise of the customer, we know exactly the type of ownership that this customer has, so we don't really need the personal information of that customer, of that said customer. What we need is an access to the owner of one watch, several watches. Well, so what we need is an access via the wallet of the collection of that owner. And here you see that suddenly what used to be absolute unknown for us becomes a big opportunity of engagement. So kind of joining here and here. And the point in between is to bring people either up or down. So really, that changed the way the pyramid was imposed to us in the past. Specifically, so describing the bottom of the pyramid, as I was saying, we have now a way to engage with the NFT holders in their wallets as a kind of like in-app messages. So we're able to trigger customer journeys, not knowing the name, the address, the age, the gender of that customer, but knowing the composition of his or her collection, watch collection. It shows you in one click. So we can go from no message in the app to one message, whatever the message could be. And that's why, for us, the NFT is, let's say, a trigger or like an enabler in our engagement with the customer. We didn't do NFTs as a speculative item, right? So we really cannot dissociate the NFT to the watch. And what we want is really to have this relationship, let's say, endure the time, so that if you then resell the watch, the NFT is attached to that watch and goes to the next owner. So that's what you will see in the description of the use cases that I'll go through from again 2020 to today. So 2020. You have, that's the visual of the first watch. It was a limited edition of a few hundred pieces, launched, by the way, March 2020, so at the heart of COVID. And most of it was sold on e-com because everything else was closed in terms of channels. And already we were able to show the benefits of the accompanying NFTs, both in terms of transparency, traceability, and tradability. So that's what I'll show very quickly. First, in the way that the customer can access very simply to that NFT. So if you see one click, you have your wallet on your phone, you click, you can have several NFTs. You click on the specific BREITLING access, you see the NFTs that you have from BREITLING, and then you access directly into the NFT of or into the watch that you just bought. Then, as I was saying, each NFT is really interlinked with that watch. So that's why you have some of the features, proof of ownership, to show someone else that the watch actually belongs to you, but also transfer my certificate in the case of the resale of the watch. Here, really, it's going to be a 1.5 minutes movie to show step by step what's the reality from a customer standpoint, from buying the watch to So the point of that movie was really to demonstrate what we're saying with one click, one step, one click. Is really you have 3 steps, 3 clicks. So really a simplicity in the process. And remember, 2020, NFT, blockchain, and so on were very cryptic words. Now they are much more in fashion. But what was important for us was the usability for watch owners, right? They don't need to have a PhD in technology to figure it out and claim their NFT. In terms of the benefits, so the 3 T's that I presented earlier. First one, obviously, is transparency. So what it shows you is the entire history of the watch. And if you think about your car, you know, the value of your car is also tied up to the services that you've provided, the fact that you acquired it legally, you know, those kind of things. And this is exactly what the NFT allows, because it's encrypting the history of the watch for every new event. So you cannot fake, you cannot delete something that would have happened to the watch. You have, let's say, a true timeline of that watch. The second is traceability, and on that we've deployed 2 weeks ago an even stronger component. So traceability is to say, okay, what is the composition of the watch? Where are the elements coming from? And 2 weeks ago we've introduced let's say a second layer of traceability towards the precious materials, so the gold and the diamonds. Now you have a provenance of those, where they're coming from, and where they've been sourced, and if they are lab grown or not. So this shows you kind of like the journey from simply disclosing what are the materials to now disclosing where they're coming from. And last but not least, the tradability. So as we were saying, the fact that both the NFT and the watch are completely interlinked means that in the trading that might happen with that watch, any move is reflected with the NFT. Part of that is the transfer certificate feature that you see here, and that component is also explaining why we have leveraged that NFT into the trading platform that we've deployed for our customers, because basically then we present the brand as the best partner for the resale of that watch, right? To not only help with the initial purchase, but also with the potential resale of that watch. We have created a peer-to-peer platform where customers can engage with each other and trade watches among themselves. So for that, obviously, we are leveraging the website and the My Account part of the website. Since now we've introduced in the My Account a way to log in with the NFT, so that's called decentralized login. So you have the very classical, registration. You need to provide all information and so on. So that has always existed. You can go to that step with creating an account. But now what we offer, and this is a very key component of the new engagement, is the ability for the customer to engage with the brand on their own premises by leveraging their NFT and simply saying, I don't want to disclose information. I just want to engage with the brand based on the watch I have, so based on the NFT I have. So in a few steps, you just scan your NFT and you access to, let's say, an anonymized version of My Account, where basically what the brand has for information, but that's enough, is the watches that you own, and then the brand allows you to have access to the Breitling trade platform without any other ask from the brand, and still the ability to engage in a meaningful way. The last part of the deployment, and this is prospective because we are going to launch in a few months, is a loyalty club, but that's crypto-based. So said simply, it's a loyalty club that you can enter in with the property of an NFT. So again, you can here you can access the My Account with your NFT, but in a few months you can access the club of Breitling with your NFT as the entry key again. Obviously, as any loyalty scheme, you have some perks, some benefits that are attached to the relationship you're building with the brand, to the loyalty you're showing to the brand. But what's interesting is if you look here, the member ID, we don't know, because you're basing your relationship on the anonymity of your NFT. As part of the benefits, there is the trading platform I was mentioning that you can access via the club or via My Account. Really, this liquidity that the brand provides is also a way to get repeat purchases and to show the sustained value of the watches, which is a key component in the purchasing decision. So that's why we enable or we help clients to resell their watches with a very simple way for them to list a watch and see it appear on the platform and a full visibility to Breitling collectors, which is interesting because if you think about it, the most likely buyers of a Breitling are people who really enjoy Breitling already. So that's really the benefit of this peer-to-peer, which is already live. We have every day around 150 watches live on that platform that are being traded. The last but not least, and this is also kind of a complement of the club, is to say once you're part of the club, is not only about getting a cap as a benefit. It's also being engaged in Breitling ecosystem, and Breitling, like many luxury brands, is stepping outside of just making watches and going into cafe, restaurants, hotels, and so on. So that this let's say loyalty card that you have with the NFT as an entry key also provides you preferential access to all this, we call it Breitling world, Planet B, but it's all the hospitality options that are around the brand. So let's say, you can have a faster booking at a cafe, you can have free drinks if you're staying at a hotel, those kind of things. So that's, let's say, an enhancement of the customer experience and the engagement with the brand that we also want to have in the Metaverse. And I was told on that topic to mention a room dedicated to the Metaverse a bit further. But the point is that when we're talking about the Planet B and the BREITLING world, there is the physical component that's very tangible, but there is also what we're deploying in the Metaverse to engage or to keep the engagement between the customers and the brand. So thanks a lot. I was told to give a final message from the e-com team that we accept crypto on breitling.com. If you have too many cryptocurrencies, feel free to spend it for Christmas.